Anheuser-Busch InBev, world's largest brewer out there, has experienced some setbacks, but now the company has a new opportunity and hopes to become more transparent. I sat down earlier with the newish CEO, Michel Doukeris, to address some of the acquisitions made by his predecessor, SAB Miller, and what the future looks like for AB InBev. Take a listen.
If you think about ABI and the last 20 years, 25 years history, we have created a lot of value, and we had like a very simple, repeatable strategy that was about cost management, cash generation, and inorganic growth. And this is not that was an ABI only led strategy. Actually, several different industries, they went through a process of consolidation. And ABI was an agent, as other companies, in the beer industry consolidation. In the last few years, especially after the SAB integration, we need to acknowledge that there is no much more out there for you to continue to go only inorganic. And we've had several good initiatives inside the company in terms of organic. And therefore now this evolution is a transition from a more inorganic-led to a more organic-led.
As part of that transition, you still have to address some of the acquisitions that were made by your predecessor, SAB Miller. There was a huge debt load attached to that, and to a certain extent, a drag on earnings attached to that.
Yeah, actually, as we reflect upon this past, there are like three big learnings. One is that we had more hits than misses. But it's also true that we had some misses on the way.
Was SAB Miller a miss?
Not exactly SAB Miller. We've been learning a lot with the integration. It's a very interesting footprint that we acquired. Great company, great people. But actually, there are three big learnings, as I was saying. One is really that while we were consolidating, we kind of miss a little bit the eye on the ball on the consumer side, and the beer industry could not realize its full potential. So there is much more juice to take out of this lemon than we are actually taking today. So the beer industry can grow more.
Should investors expect divestitures?
They should invest organic growth. That was the conversation that we had today. So we are trying to move from leaders in the beer industry to leading the beer category growth and expanded. They should expect us digitizing at very high speed and monetize this ecosystem that we put together over the years. And today, we already have like 50% of our sales coming through digital models, either B2B or B2C.
You are obviously the leader in the beer industry. We've seen trends, though, shift a little bit, even prior to the pandemic, folks moving to wine, spirits, hard seltzer. How much does AB InBev plan to move into those spaces, if at all?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. If you look at long term, like 10 years, there was a period from 2010, 11 to 2015 that beer was slowing down and other categories were growing. If you get the most recent period, we just put together 100 countries, Euromonitor data, and you can see very clearly that beer is gaining share of volume. And the growth is led by emerging markets, but even very traditional developed markets such as UK, Canada, and most recently the US are growing. And this growth is coming from beer, pure beer, but also from the emergence of new combinations in the void of the three big categories. People call this the beyond beer, the ready-to-drink beverages. They are extremely incremental to the beer industry. More than 50% comes from occasions and consumers that drink wine and spirits. And because the way that we are uniquely positioned in terms of packaging, countries, brands, and capabilities to deliver high volume with convenient packages, we can capture a lot of this trend.
How much is your organic growth strategy dependent on the reopening of bars and restaurants and stadiums, places outside the home where people would normally consume beer?
There are 2 points here for us. The on-trade and the hospitality industry is very important, and they suffered a lot during the pandemic. Us, together with other companies, we've been making a lot of investments, tailoring our programs to support the reopening. But the very interesting thing about beer is that the category is very resilient and very reliable. As of today, year to date, the beer category is already selling above pre-pandemic levels. And during the pandemic, there was this feeling of normalcy that beer could bring to people, as we went to a supermarket instead of a bar, and you could buy your products, the brands that you love, and have some normalcy at home. So very reliable, very consistent category, even during the pandemic.